I have spent thousands of hours studying successful people, and this is what they all had in common, which got them the success they wanted. Point number one. Before anything, the first thing is you must define success. What does success mean to you? This is really important because if you don't know what you want, you wouldn't know what to do in order to get it. Success means something different to everyone. For someone, it might be earning a lot of money. For someone, it may be getting a six pack. For someone, it may be just living on the countryside away from everyone. We all have different definitions of success. And in order to get there, the most important thing is being really specific and knowing exactly what that looks like for you. So first step is getting really specific about exactly what you want. Don't be vague with your definition like, oh, I want lots of money or I want to be a business owner. I want you to get really specific about exactly what the goal is. Oh, I want to earn $100,000 by the end of this year. Or I want to start a company that makes tech products, or I want to start a marketing agency. But the main thing is you have to be really specific about exactly what you're trying to achieve. Now, don't expect this to stay the same forever. You might decide on something today, and even in a few months' time, you might want something completely different. And that's fine. You just got to try different stuff out till you figure out what one thing really speaks to you. And your desire might keep changing, but that's fine. You adapt with the times, you change. Point number two. After you know what success looks like for you, now that you have an end goal in mind, you must devise a plan on how to get there. This will be different for everyone, but you've got to know what to do in order to get where you want to go. If you don't have a plan, then you're just shooting in the dark and waiting to get lucky. And that's just like having a wish, not a goal. Lots of people have wishes, but most never get what they want because they don't know how to get there. This is why planning is really important. You gotta know exactly what you gotta do in order to get where you wanna go. When you're planning, you must be willing to make sacrifices for your goal. There are no free handouts. You must sacrifice something you have in order to get what you want. And this may be different depending on what your goal is. Some might have to give up time, some will have to give up money, some will have to give up pleasure. But ultimately, you have to give up something to get what you want. And you need to figure out what that will be for your goal. And you need to make a clear intention on what you're willing to give up for your goal. That way, when it actually comes time where you have to make a decision between what will help you achieve your goal and what's fun in the moment, you'll remember your intention and it will help you make the correct decision in that moment. In your planning phase, you must also predict failure. There are going to be times where other things will try to pull you away from your goal, from what you need to do. And you need to predict those scenarios before they happen. So when they happen, you're not surprised. You know that this was going to happen and you'll know what to do in that situation. Sometimes visualizing these could really help. It depends on what works for you. But if you've thought about the scenarios where you might be tempted to sway from your goals, because you've already thought about that previously, it will help you make the correct decision. Because you'll be like, oh yeah, I knew this was going to happen and now it's happening and I know what to do, instead of just forgetting about what your intention was and swaying from your goal. After you've planned your path to your goals, assuming you're an ambitious person who has big goals and want to do something big and difficult, you're gonna need to become obsessed. You cannot achieve extraordinary results with mediocre effort. If you have an ambitious and difficult goal, you're gonna need to try really hard and put some serious effort into it. Nothing worthwhile is easy. You need to be obsessed to the point where you're thinking about your goal pretty much all the time. You can't just half-ass the shit and expect life to happen to you. You have to try really fucking hard and become obsessed to the point where it's all you can think about. And once you're at that point, your brain will start helping you. Because this is all you're thinking about, your brain will generate ideas about what you could do in the future or how you can get even more efficient with your work. And once you get in that feedback loop, it becomes second nature to you. And once you start to see some success in your goal, it positively reinforces your goal and it makes it easier to continue with it moving forward. This might be the most important point in the entire video. If you ignore everything else and just do this one thing, you will eventually get the success you want. The most important step in achieving success is action. Even if you don't know exactly what you want to do or what you want to achieve, if you just start doing something, whatever the first thing is, then you will eventually figure out your path through that action. The only way out if you're feeling stuck is to take action. If you're standing on a crossroad and there's multiple paths you could take and you can't decide, the only way out is to just start running down one path. And then if that doesn't end up being what you want, you can always just come back and start again. The only thing that will stop you is if you just keep standing there and thinking about which paths to take and don't do anything. In the beginning, especially when you're just starting out, just doing something and getting consistent in it is so much more valuable than thinking about all these strategies and tips and tricks on how to optimize what you're trying to do. Just do something, get it out there, and you can get feedback and improve later on. The final point is what will set you apart from the good to the great. This is something that I got from Alex Hormozi, and it's that do so much volume that it is unreasonable for you to not succeed. This seems really simple. Let me try to explain it with an example. There were two groups of students who were both given a month for a pottery assignment. One group was told to make as many pots as they can in the 1 month and don't think about quality that much. And the other group was told to make only one pot in the entire month and try to make it as good as you can. At the end of the experiments, they found out that the group that was told to make as many pots as they can made a lot more pots, and they were overall way better quality than the group that only made one pot in the entire month. It is so important to just get the reps in and do so much more than anyone else is willing to do, and at that point, it will be unreasonable that you don't succeed. Even if you learn only a minute thing out of every iteration, if you've just had thousands of them, you will eventually get so much better than someone who just hasn't put that many reps in. If you do everything that I've outlined here, it will be unreasonable for you to not succeed. So start now. Thank you for watching.